Episode is brought to you by GameFound. Create a free pledge manager for your project.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Z Garcia. Hello.
I'm Mike Delisio. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Welcome to Crowdsurfing, where we take a look at projects on Kickstarter and GameFound and talk about them. We usually take a look at projects ending in the next 9-10 days. If you don't see it this week, then maybe it was last week, or maybe it's next week, or maybe it's never, because we don't look at all of them.
Right.
We choose which ones we look at. Although I will say there was slightly more slim pickings this week. There was a few big projects and a lot of small ones, but I guess that's good for if you're a small project.
Yeah, and overall a pretty nice slate, I think.
All right, I do have a couple questions.
Uh-huh.
No. I don't mean that. I'm not here to mock.
No. Yeah, well,
there's
of
one
course.
project in particular I am curious as to why it is as popular as it is, but we'll get to that.
I think we have the same. I think we have the same question.
I even did internet searches to see, and I can't find anything. But let's start with one of the more popular projects here.
Okay.
And this is
Vulfarian guilds?
Okay.
I'm guessing.
Vulfarian guilds. Now, this one is from Tabula Games. So this one is an automatic. It's going to be popular. Their games, Mysthea and other stuff, they have these really cool worlds that they put together.
Yeah. You know, I was pretty ignorant to their stuff, but I love the look of Mysthea and Ikeon. Is that right?
Yeah.
We have it in the library. I've always wanted to check those out. Maybe I will here
This sounds like
soon.
Catch up on loser.
Yeah, for sure. I love the look of their games.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have like a weird fantasy sci-fi world. It's probably just sci-fi.
Yeah.
But it kind of gives a fantasy vibe to it. And their games always look like they're straight up Ameritrash, and they are most definitely on the Euro side.
This is a deck builder, right? I mean, this looks like a
Right.
pretty standard looking, anyway, deck builder with maybe some more stuff going on. And this is apparently a standalone expansion. Is that correct?
Oh, I missed that.
I believe so. I believe this is let's see if it says.
Oh, because the game must already exist, Vulfarian. Although I never played it.
Okay.
This one's the guilds. Well, I guess this is a jumping on point if you're there. I like their art.
Yeah.
I tend to like deck builders in general. This thing escaped from Dune.
And they've always done well, delivering their projects, correct? I don't know.
They very much get them out in a decent amount of time. I don't even know. I mean, let's take a look at the projects that they've done in the past here.
They're out of Italy, apparently.
So Sons of Fariel, I don't think this one has been delivered yet.
I don't believe so.
Sanctuary, I've
Don't know
not
about
played
that
one. Barbarians the Invasion, I like a lot. Ikeon, I like.
There's Vulfarian.
There's Vulfarian. Mysthea, I like. So the only three I've played, and they've done Barbarians twice, are Barbarians, Ikeon, and Mysthea. I think of those three, I like Barbarians the best.
Really? See, I need to play one of these
it's
games.
pretty
I
solid.
I haven't played any of their games. I'm not as big a fan of their look, I think, as you guys are, but I agree that they do have a specific look to most of their games.
It's a certain
which is good.
style. Like it's almost in the category. I mentioned the sandworm being Dune, but it almost has that feel.
Yeah.
Like if you like the Dune universe, this
Sure.
looks like it's adjacent to that
does.
universe.
I agree.
If only there were some Dune board games that came out. I mean, that's a market that needs to be filled. Am I right?
I like the design of these cards, though. They're pretty clean.
They are. Yeah, they're not.
I like the
busy
graphic design on the cards.
They do use the same symbology. I'm looking at these cards going, I've seen that before.
It's like a Garfield thing, right? They use the same iconography pretty much
Red
across
Raven
the board.
does the
Red
same
Raven.
thing. Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, I'm not as enamored with it as you guys both seem to be.
Well, I'm not. I don't know that I need another deck builder, but I do like the look of their stuff.
It's not expensive, though. Look, it's $29.
Wow. That's pretty good.
That's
You get all
pretty
that
good.
box that the animation showed being unloaded? You get all that?
It says you get the full exclusive Guilds core box, 2 monster cards, 2 cards. Well, it's just monster
Well,
cards.
I think if you want the minis, then you pay a little more.
Okay. Yeah, because they showed that animation of it all sort of flying out of the box up at the top.
I think this is pretty good. In fact, how many backers does this have? Because it's 4,000 backers, nothing to scoff at.
Not at all.
And they have 8 days to go. This is doing really well.
It's doing well.
Soul Raiders. Now, we just talked about this, the last one coming from a publisher who's done 9 Kickstarters. This is from a first-time publisher, One for All, and...
All for one.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is
I want to
interesting.
sing that song from the Three Musketeers now.
You know, this
Later
very
on we'll
much gives a Seventh Continent vibe to me. The card exploration mechanic. Yeah, I don't know. It's.
I mean, Mark Andre's involved with Splendor.
That's right.
Although Splendor's like the very opposite, Seventh Continent.
That's true.
That's a little bit. That might be a negative for me. This looks more interesting to me than the one we just looked at.
Well, there's also this guy says founder of Madigo and director of Studio H. That's like a lot of.
So this must be a new business or a new
but this is
publisher.
This is from people that have a lot of experience.
Yes,
These
absolutely.
Which is good, and I think you can tell that. I mean, this is great videos for one thing.
The video was well done, yes.
But this looks interesting. It looks like there's a lot of exploration. I like the vibe. It's fantasy-esque, yes. It verges on that generic-looking sort of thing I tend to avoid.
That's really.
But I
clean
looked at
card
these in
design,
order.
though.
So I went through that first one we just looked at before this, and I thought, okay, I'm not loving the sort of world here. And then I jumped over to this one, and it gives me. There's almost and maybe this is because of the title of the company, but I did get a little bit of a Musketeers vibe from it.
Really? Okay.
There's something like a fantasy. There's like a fantasy Musketeers
I'm with
kind
him.
of thing.
This is fantasy Musketeers.
When I watched the video, I got more of a JRPG vibe from it.
Really?
Yeah, like if
Okay.
you watch and
Okay.
listen to it.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I got a little bit of that.
really
vibe
good
from it.
artwork.
I think you know what it is. Go back up, just right there. Look, that design. Go one down, one image down.
Right there.
The backs of those cards, there's a trumpet and a banner.
I
That looks like
absolutely-
Musketeers
I can totally
imagery.
I could totally see what you're saying there. Yeah.
This looks neat, and if it has as much of a branching sort of storyline and paths as it seems to have, that's going to be exciting to explore.
They make it sound replayable. There's 3 quote-unquote chapters, but they make it sound like you can play through them more than once. So
There's like 800 cards in there,
yeah.
so
yeah.
I like the
I'm
look
real
of this
strong
one.
Seventh
Very
Continent
elegant, very
vibes.
regal.
Yeah, right. Seventh Continent is what I felt like. Yeah.
All right. Methodology, The Murder on the Lynx, a social deduction game with hand management and set collection. That's a weird combo.
Yeah, it's based off of an Agatha Christie book or story that I was not aware of.
Murder on the Lynx.
Yeah, I did not know that. It's a Hercule Poirot story, and he's, I guess, in the game.
Didn't she write a lot of these? I never.
Sure. I mean, she wrote tons of stories and books, and yeah, I don't know. This one, the price is good. It makes it sound like no matter how many times you play it, it's going to have a new mystery, quote unquote, every time. I just wonder how those kind of mechanics are going to incorporate into a social deduction.
That is a weird combo,
You know?
right?
I wasn't getting the social deduction part.
Yeah.
I was sort of getting a deduction or like suspect elimination type game.
Could you technically say that Clue is hand management and set collection?
Maybe, but
I mean,
maybe
yeah, but
hand,
you wouldn't
hand
mean it in that
management.
You wouldn't
yeah.
use the word social deduction.
not
You
social
would say
deduction.
deduction.
You would say deduction. That's
Even though
why-
you represent one of the people,
Right.
you don't know if you did it in Clue.
Right.
You know, Clue is like a group of people who all lost their memory.
Right.
And one of them killed somebody, and somehow you don't know it. In fact, that should be the theme for Clue.
Yeah.
Because technically, you're one of the suspects, and you might be the one who did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, although you can then arrest yourself in the game if that's the case. You're not.
Yeah, you should. You monster.
You're not.
Wow.
You're not really one of the suspects. I don't think they even say that anymore.
They might have changed it. I
Yeah.
don't know. But
Anyway, I'm not saying this is Clue necessarily. I'm just saying, like, sometimes these kind of labels can be pretty loose. You know what I mean?
Right. And I wasn't picking up too much on the social deduction part. It looks okay. It looks like a slight game, though.
Yes, it really does.
I will say that company's logo might be one of my favorite logos I've ever seen for a board game company.
The Gray Wolf, huh?
Look at that, how nice that is. Because
very
it's a
clean.
yin-yang looking thing.
Oh, it's double. Oh, that's nice. I didn't catch that. It's
Right.
too old.
It kind of takes you a second to see it.
Yeah.
Yes, but we already have a company called Gray Fox.
Yeah,
This is-
no,
this is
I
a
like the
weird
logo. Call it,
thing.
White Donkey. I don't care. I like the logo. That's all I'm saying.
Somebody, you better trademark that right now because he's going right after we're done filming here.
White
White
Donkey.
Donkey.
Speaking of sounding like something else, Potion Panic sounds
an
like.
explosion of fun.
But it sounded like this is a
Yeah.
game that already existed.
Well, sure.
I do like that. That look there, I like. I'm
It's
just
a
like,
nice,
ooh.
that's a
Very
nice looking
Adventure
splash
Time.
plate.
It looks like Adventure
very,
Time.
very Adventure Time looking. Yes.
Yeah, this is their second game. I looked at their first one. Was it a tarot game or something? I mean, like some kind of a cult or something like that. Some weird little game.
Okay.
Did you just order the
You
soup and the
mentioned
salad?
That's the most inside joke. Sorry.
Very inside joke. Yeah, sorry about that.
You mentioned a slight game. This kind of gives me that vibe too. Like it's not a whole lot going on,
Yeah.
but
I want some funky punch.
the cards
Along
look
with Black
nice.
Death.
Great graphic design,
I think
great artwork.
I think the cards look very nice.
I think this is sort of a take that set collection-y kind of game.
I'd give this one a whirl.
I think this could have a pretty wide audience here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree, and I'm kind of right there with you, Tom. This is the kind of game that
I'd try.
I don't think I'm not backing it.
Right.
I don't back a lot of games. I should say that, but you throw it on the table in front of me, and I'm in. I'll give it a go.
Won't
Right.
buy, will play.
Yeah, that's where
That's
I'm
a
at,
category.
too, for
Yeah,
sure.
I guess so.
WBWP.
Don't.
White Donkey.
Now this game I thought looked really unique.
But
Right.
I like the story of this one.
Jalicio. Okay, I know it's Ultia, but that's bad font.
Okay.
If you saw that in a box, I wouldn't know that first letter of
that's
the
not
U.
great.
GTA.
GTA.
Yeah, it's a
It
little
looks
weird.
like JITIA.
Yeah.
GTA.
But, so this is a 3-player trick-taking
Trick-taking
game,
game.
which is rare in of itself.
Right. But I
And-
actually applaud that they're not trying to mess around. It's like, this is a game for 3 players, right? Not going to have a wacky 2-player variant.
Right.
It's a 3-player game. And I also like that this was a game that was already sold at the Tokyo Game Market. And like most of the games that are sold there, it was on a very small print run, and the demand outweighed the supply. And also there was a demand for an English version, and so they're kickstarting it. That's a great use of Kickstarter.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
Already,
Reach a wider audience.
Right.
Do you like to look at the cards?
I do.
This feels
Very
like that
clean.
kind of cool game
do
that
like
you
to
would
look
say,
at it.
I bet you guys have never seen this.
Yeah.
It really does, but I'm okay with that. This one intrigues me.
When I first saw it, that image right there, just that, boom. I'm like, oh, it's a deck of playing cards.
Right.
Because it has that look.
Very minimalistic.
Extremely clean. And then obviously a second later, I'm like, oh no, this is just some game.
I
like that look. Yeah.
I like trick-taking games. I would definitely want to try this one.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah.
Attic!
Can one of you guys tell me what that art reminds me of? Because it is very similar to something like an old. Is it Hey Arnold or?
Not qu- This artwork reminds me.
It looks
almost of
very
like a
similar to
meme.
some.
I know what
90s
you're saying.
It looks like
thought
that Joking Hazard artwork
maybe
a
no,
little
but
bit.
there's
No,
an
it's
old
not
TV
that.
show that this really reminds me of.
Anyway, this is a weird name here. Like, why
Yes.
is it called Attic? Why wouldn't it call like Don't Fall in the Attic? You know what I mean? For like a kid,
Right.
just Attic.
So we were talking about player count, and this has something that I'm kind of a little red flag that popped up. So it says that this has been designed as a 4-player game. 4-player game. But we're going to see if we can tweak it to try to make it work. My opinion is don't. If you've play tested this, as they say they have, as a 4-player game, market
Then
it
it's
as
a
a 4-player
four-player
game.
People are saying Kids Next Door.
Oh, is that what it is? It really it reminds
What
me.
is Kids Next Door?
I don't know. Let's Google it.
Codename The Kids Next Door, yeah. Ed,
It
Ed, and
reminded
Eddie
me.
a little bit
It reminded
also.
me, of something very, very much. But yeah, look at that.
Yeah, okay, you're right. That's what it looks
I mean,
like.
come on.
Now, what? What's
Wow,
it-
useful!
But just looking at those characters, I mean, it looks very
Yeah,
similar
you're right.
to me.
Okay, you're right.
I
That's
mean-
exactly what it is, Mike, yeah.
Interesting.
That kid's head right
But have
there.
you ever
he looks
seen
like
this
Hey
before?
No,
Arnold.
I never watched this show. I just knew. I saw it and immediately was like, man, that looks like
Well,
something
now
I've seen.
you have seen.
Right. I'm not saying they've stolen it, but it has definitely reminiscent of it, right? I'm not making
This,
accusations.
this is a take that. Look at that. Pick any
Yeah.
player. Discard your hand, draw 2 cards.
Right.
Lose 2 batteries. Pick a player. They skip their next turn.
Yeah.
I'm out.
I'm out too.
But it's
No.
making some money.
funding,
That's why
right?
it's on the list right
It's
here.
funding.
$5,981.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. Not for me.
No.
All right, Tataka. I like
this
that
one-
font a lot for whatever reason.
I'm telling you, this is one of those projects that I'm pulling for.
Me too.
I
This
watched
one
the
has a nice
video.
story. It's two
College
friends
kids.
who are in college,
Right.
and they came up with a game, a
Yep.
dueling game, in which you draft a hand of cards, and then play them against
Simultaneous
each other.
play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sensing you like this art.
I think
actually
this
do
art
like
is
this art.
okay, actually.
Really? It
Yeah.
seems like your style, that black
I didn't
and
love
white.
it at first, but then I kind of, the more I got it, it just fits this project, right? It's a very kind of from the heart DIY project. They did hire an artist that uses apparently some traditional techniques.
I am he who
I'm really
lives
pulling
by
for
the
this.
sword.
They're,
Wonder how they're going to
funding.
die.
I'm glad to see
I'm
it.
pulling for it too. I hope they do well with it. I'm happy to see Kickstarter again be able to bring this kind of thing to people who want it.
Right.
I don't think I'd like this game.
I would play
I
it.
have played a lot of games like this,
Sure.
unfortunately, you know, and I usually don't like them. Simultaneous selection card games, there's a lot of them. I don't tend to like them. And there happen to also be a lot of them with this theme in
Sure.
which you play like attack or defense
block
or
or-
like special card that
Right.
undermines your attack.
Sure.
There's a lot of those.
Yeah, but they're usually quick. This looks like another quick game. You're going
Sure.
to 10 hit points, I think it is. I would absolutely play this. And like I said, I really am pulling for the project because I think it's a neat.
I agree. It's nice to see two college kids having a go at this.
Yeah.
All right, it's our playing card project of the week. This time it's one playing card. It's based on the, I think it's pronounced Hmong culture.
The
Yes,
Hmong culture. Yeah. I got to say, Tom, I've given you a lot of grief over these crowdsurfing.
Oh, that's new.
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Over your playing cards, and 98% of them I could care less about. But there have been some ones
They're not
recently.
mine. I'm just putting them in the project.
These are your projects. Take responsibility for your actions, sir.
Okay.
But there've been
Well,
a couple
that turned on a
lately.
dime.
There've been a couple lately that I've been interested in. And this is, I think, is another really neat story. And I think the cards look really cool too, myself.
These are beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It's nice. It's from, you know, the artist is the one who is in the video, basically.
Right.
Talking about her inspiration and her background and
I like these pips.
explaining, yeah, they're beautiful. Explaining the differences in the Hmong culture and where they've settled or kind of where they're from
Right.
and why the differences in the styles.
The clothing and
their
textiles.
clothing.
Yeah, it's neat. It really
They're
and
beautiful.
they look
I mean,
nice.
Yeah, these are lovely cards. They feel artisanal, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? And they
This
are.
feels like if you went there and you bought a deck of playing cards,
Yes.
this is what they would look like.
Right, right.
This is from a person who knows her stuff.
She had already created
Beautiful.
a coloring book, apparently,
Yeah.
of this culture, and then this is like her next really cool idea.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it looks.
yeah.
I mean, I think those look great.
It's so good looking.
Come on, those are gorgeous pips.
Yeah.
I love custom pips.
And look at that.
That card back,
Which
that
one do you
full
like better?
color,
the full color
that
one,
full color,
for sure. It's gorgeous.
Very nice.
Yeah,
That is very nice.
yeah. Nicely done, Tom. You're finally,
You did
coming correct with
My
some card
word.
projects for once.
All right,
one time.
let's play some Hexaspiration, the Founders Edition. What does that mean, Founders Edition?
I don't know.
I missed that.
I don't know. This one's not quite making it as far as funding. It's getting close, though.
Well, you nincompoops.
yeah.
Is that spelled? I don't know. how to
I'm
spell
not sure.
nincompoops.
This obviously, to me, the look of it kind of reminds me of what is it, Take It Easy and things like that. You know what I mean?
I tend to just like the look of this.
Well, the tiles look like that one. I forgot what that game was called, but I used to have it with the Bakelite tiles.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about too.
Lynx or
Yeah, Lynx or something like that.
I don't know.
I don't know why. Yeah, like I said, when there's links of different colors, I tend to be like, "Ooh, that's interesting."
This
Even if
looks
the
a little-
game is terrible.
This looks a little messy to me, I have to admit.
Yeah, no,
The extra tiles. I mean, I appreciate what they're trying to do, but to me, it looks a little messy.
But you can play it on tabletop and make up
Sure,
your own
yeah,
mind.
maybe
they have that available.
Right.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I don't like
It's,
it.
it's
but
close though. It's not quite there, but I think they could fund. They have 4 days. It's going to be close. It's going to be close.
Yeah.
Tranquility The Ascent. Now, in this particular one, this is the standalone sequel. If you
Yeah.
remember Tranquility,
Yeah.
I remember being excited about this cover. Did this ever come in?
I never saw it. I don't think it ever
never
came through
seen it.
here, and I was like, man, I wish it had because I love
I
the look of
agree.
it.
I was like, what? One of us would have reviewed it and had it come
absolutely
through.
would've. Yeah, yeah. And
So,
this looks cool to me. I mean, I love the graphic design. I love the art.
I know, but I want to play I actually like the way the first one looks a little better.
Do you?
This with the ship and that. This one with the mountain, it looks cool. Again, I don't know that I would back this unless I've seen the first one, but we must have just missed it somehow.
Yeah, I guess so. The mechanism of the kind of the central mechanism looks like it's pretty clever too.
Yeah.
Basically, where the difference between they're all numerical value tiles, and the difference between the two tiles, you have to discard that many, and you have to kind of place. You can place anything you want, but it has to be of at least the value of that row that it goes into. So clever, you know.
I like this whole
Puzzle.
mountain. The mountain building thing is just cool. Visually, it's really neat.
It is,
looking.
yeah. I like the look of this. It might be, well, you're playing cooperative, so it's not like everyone has their own mountain. You've got just one mountain.
Right.
I would be worried about table space otherwise, but I'm interested in this. I think this looks great.
Yeah, this is a gorgeous looking game. It looks different also, which is nice.
Yeah.
I don't know that I would get this playmat though. I was like, ooh, a playmat. Then they're like a unique folding map style playmat.
Really?
No.
So it can't be neoprene then.
I hate maps.
That'd be weird.
Tom Vassell, I hate maps.
No, I hate this folding map stuff.
Yeah, I
Are
know, I
you
get
saying
it.
as a kid,
No,
you never,
I hated them.
your dad never said fold this map, and I was like, I don't know.
Yeah. I wonder how many people watching this right now have never actually used a
paper
physical
map.
paper map.
That's
I'd say
interesting.
probably 20%.
But do you remember having to fold them?
Yeah, they're a mess.
It should be fold. But whoever made maps was like, nah,
No.
that's not how we're gonna fold this
Right.
map.
You need to be a structural engineer to put this map back together.
You're studying creases like you're an archaeologist.
I think this was
Like bruising
the
a brush.
outermost crease.
Right, yeah. The
Yeah.
other thing you can do is just like cram it all together and shove it back in, which is what I would do. And there we go. I hate maps, Tom Vassell. There we go. So it has been written, so it is deemed.
This is a very interesting project. Okay, so this is from Board Game Tables, who make pretty good tables.
Yeah.
They're like they're kind of in the middle of the pack when it comes to tables, and in fact, they're more known these days for their board games.
their board games,
They have a very big line of board games. So now they're making something that sounds super fascinating: modular shelves. And
Yes.
you better believe I was looking at these because I love shelves.
They are very cool looking,
They're,
all sorts of sizes and different configurations. I love this animation.
I know I can watch this all day long, right?
Yeah, it's so cool.
But you might sense a but coming.
Sure.
But
But
they're extremely expensive.
check your wallet at the door.
Is that the same thing you guys buy?
Yes.
gosh.
Okay, but here,
Yes.
I do get it.
This is
They're-
heirloom.
They're walnut. They're
Right, yeah.
They're solid wood. You pass this on to your grandkids. It looks like.
Sure, this is should be heirloom quality.
The problem is it's really hard to push this when I pay like $300 for my IKEA shelf. Okay, so where do they have it here? They have the shelves. So 400 for a small one. We're not looking at small. A medium.
800
4
for a
by
medium.
5. A medium one would fit a small gaming collection.
Yes.
Right.
Because 5 feet's shorter than me and 4 feet.
Right, and that's not going to have. Keep in mind, it's not going to have the doors or the drawers. Those are add-ons. It's
Yeah,
going to
but
be
this
just the
6
shelves.
by 6, which if I'm remembering correctly, that's a 5 by 5 calyx. About.
Okay, right.
Because a calyx is
about as
13
tall as you.
inches, add a couple
Right.
inches, so it's a little bigger than a calyx.
Right, and as someone said in the chat, plus shipping, and these are not going to be cheap to ship.
$1,500, but man, I'm still. Here's the thing. I think I would back this if I needed a shelf, which at this point in time we don't.
Right. If you are
No.
somebody that is lucky enough to have a dedicated game room,
I might
you
do
know what
it.
I mean, and you've got the means, and you are going to be in that home for a
People
you
said
know,
the
significant
same
period
thing
of time.
about when these tables
That's
first
true.
came out. I remember saying, who would pay that much for a table?
Right.
There's differences, I think,
I'll
Tom.
tell you,
That's the
but
problem.
these are I think even more versatile than a board game table because these are shelves, right? You can put anything on these. It doesn't
Table's
have
a
to be.
table, though.
Yeah, but
like,
this is look. I mean, how many people are going to use this table for much other than board gaming? You're going to use shelves for
the
any number of
shelves
things.
are. There's less difference between.
You can
say
hold. You know
the
how many
IKEA
maps you can
shelf
hold in
and
that?
that. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It
I
seems
get
to
it.
me.
I get
know
it.
you can modify and sort of figure out what you want it to be, but
Well, right
I
there,
mean, you
it's
can add one little
69.
thing for $100. I can buy an IKEA shelf, a 2x4,
I'm
for
not saying-
about that price.
I'm not saying that these are
They're so
affordable.
expensive.
They're crazy expensive.
They're very
69,
lovely.
the $69 one here, that's a Calyx box. There,
Okay.
13.2 by 13.2.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the other
But it's
thing.
going to last forever. I mean, there is something to be said for that. A Calyx shelf will not last forever.
Sure.
Very
It
clearly.
very much will not. And they have built up some type of a reputation in the industry,
Yeah,
right?
no,
So
they're
it's
a
not
great
their
company.
first-
I'm not trying to besmirch the
No, no, I
company.
know,
These
it's
are just definitely, these are
Right.
a high-end product
Very much.
for high-end, dare I say, ballers.
Right, well, somebody in
I
the
am
chat
not
is
in
saying-
that category.
Someone in the chat saying they would never spend this much money on furniture without looking at the physical product, and I understand that.
That's a
I'm
good
just
point,
saying,
too.
Guaranteed. If they have a booth at Gen Con, I don't remember if they do or not.
Right.
this will be there.
They have in the past, certainly, because they sell games too now.
Sure.
So, yeah.
Maybe we'll check it out close.
This is going to be heavy, too.
Yes,
These are going to be
'cause it's-
really heavy to carry around.
Although sometimes the particle board is even heavier than regular wood, so who knows?
I don't know. A walnut? We'll see. Anyway, I still think they're cool. I like this color myself.
That's pretty sharp.
That's the color I would get.
It depends
I
on
like
the
that
room.
natural one.
Depends
though.
on
This one?
That's beautiful. I can smell that piece of furniture.
Oof.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like just looking at that
Yeah,
image.
yeah.
The other one smells like staining, that stain.
Yeah,
I'm just going
wax.
to paint mine.
With like a Sharpie.
No, with a roller.
Oh, you're a monster.
All right, the very other end of the extreme here, we got Steph's awesome gaming calendar. Now, I distinctly remember talking about it last one.
Yes.
Have we been doing this for a year?
We have indeed.
What a great picture there in the cover, though. That's from the
Yeah.
game you just were looking
Mandalas
at.
Stones.
Actually, my review of Mandalas Stones just went up an hour ago, or a
within the
little
hour.
less than an hour
Yeah.
ago. Yeah, they're beautiful pieces for sure, and her photography is lovely.
It's great, yeah, and
It's so colorful. I mean, look at this page. It's like,
yes. And you talk about somebody that they're kind of their whole online persona. I don't think I've actually ever met Steph, but is so positive and loves gaming. You know what I mean? Just the
Right.
love of gaming exudes off of her. So I think this is a really cool project.
Absolutely.
yeah, how much is the counter? It's not that expensive either.
don't think so.
15 bucks.
15
Come on,
bucks,
that's,
right?
that's a really good price. Mm-hmm. But get it now before it's 2022.
That's
I
correct.
can't believe we're talking about 2022 calendars.
Let's stop. Let's not.
Let's
do
hope
that
there's
anymore.
lots of conventions on the calendar.
Right.
All right, is this Wingspan? No, Winged Victory.
Winged Victory. Is it Winged Victory or Winged Victory?
I don't know or care. But this
Winged.
this 1912 aircraft has cloaking technology.
It does.
Yeah, baby, it's a triplane.
That's right.
With retro stealth. What's that called? Retro panes, glass panes.
Yes, this is the Wonder Woman World War I era.
Oh boy, let's not talk about that. Let's say it's the one that Nick Fury.
Sure, there you go. So this is a kind of like a hex encounter type of a thing, but it's.
I think I would rather. I mean, here's
the
the thing.
map
now.
style board, guys.
Hey, there you go.
Look at that.
Rather than paper, I guess. Yeah.
We've been
mounted.
We've been talking about these. If you remember, we looked at one either last week or the week before.
That had the little
That had the
things.
thing
Those
that
were
you put the
cool
tokens in, and then there are ones with actual airplanes.
Right.
I want one of those two. I don't want to have to just move the counter around here.
Is it Wings of War that X-Wing was based off of? Didn't that have actual physical airplanes?
Well, originally it was cards, but then it added in the actual planes.
Okay.
And then X-Wing came out and no one played it anymore because of X-Wing.
And now
Yeah,
it's
the whole X-wing movement thing is from that.
right.
This just looks a little old here. Like this bottom
does.
part here.
Keep in mind, though, that this look is going to appeal to certain people more than the minis in X-Wing will, right? It's all about what your
historical.
What your bag is.
Yeah, you want to clear away every distraction and just focus on what's going on. This is what you're going to get.
It looks like there's different colored dice based on different things you're doing. That I like. So, all right.
Is it funding? I think it is, right?
Excuse me. I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah. Okay.
Nice.
Divinus. Is it Divinus?
He pronounced it in the video. I think he called it Divinus.
Divinus, okay.
Yeah.
So I've been pumped about this game ever since I heard about it, but I've also deliberately kept myself in the dark about it because it's a legacy game.
Right.
And we get a lot of games in here, but this is a legacy game. No one comes in, I'm going to force the guys to play this.
You won't have to force me. I'll be happy to play it.
Because, what, you don't want to be forced to play it, Roy?
I want to play it.
Oh, okay.
The same thing.
Because this is from the guys who make Chronicles of Crime and Destinies, two games I love, and now I got the same thing, but Legacy, I'm in. I'm really in this. They've been talking about this for a while. Look at
This
that
is gonna
map.
have-
That
yeah.
looks like Seventh Continent, but with color.
Yeah, this is going to be
You know
cool.
what? This looks, I'll tell you the truth, if it looked more like Seventh Continent, I would be less interested. I like that this actually, I feel like, distinguishes itself even from their other games. It doesn't look like Destiny's.
Not at all.
It doesn't
Destiny's
look
is
like
dreary
Chronicles
compared to
of
this.
Crime. It has these big, bright dice. I like that this has its own look, and I also like this kind of fantastical theme, so a little bit of mythology going on there. I'll be happy to try it, Tom.
The only thing I'm a little concerned about is somewhere on this page, I saw that they showed dice here, and then they were putting round stickers on them. I was like,
you are.
Ooh, I remember the Queensdale did that, and those stickers kind of wear off.
Yeah.
I hope it's not too big of a deal, but I do like changing the size of dice. I really do.
Yeah.
No, this looks cool. I'm a little overwhelmed looking at it.
Sure.
Like
That's why
I sort
let
of
him teach
feel exhausted looking at the page. That happens sometimes with these enormous games.
Right.
It's a legacy game. It's this big. There's a billion components. You will dedicate your life to this. Like, watching this just sort of tires me out.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, all their games so far, like Chronicles of Crime, you play it, it's so intuitive.
And same thing with
And Destiny's.
Destiny's, it looks overwhelming, but then you get the rule book, and it's like, oh, this is a
It's like
pamphlet.
2 pages of rules,
you know?
and you're just kind of going through and being like,
I haven't
oh.
played. Maybe if I had played Destiny's already,
Yeah.
I'd be a little more excited.
Because that one looks like a lot too, but when you get it out, it's like, oh, this is really
Yeah.
kind of walks you
I
right
gotta-
Oh, we haven't really talked to you about Destiny's. It's a really fun game.
You have, and
We tell you about it all the
I
time.
just haven't played it yet.
Yeah.
And again, if I had played it already, I might be more excited about this. Not that I'm not. This looks
Sure.
amazing.
Also, the price
Page
is
looks
pretty
beautiful.
legit, right?
Game looks amazing.
Well, yeah, you can get this chest of 20 pledge for 120. That's like
That's
everything.
yeah. But you've just the base box is not that pricey, because that has miniatures, and this is another game I think like you certainly could play it without miniatures. You wouldn't need them.
Right.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I'll wait till it comes out. I mean, it looks like there's a gazillion previews and stuff, and people talk to me, and for the most part, I've kind of done this, la la la.
Right.
Again, not because I don't want to hear about it, but because I want to go in with that fresh experience.
Sure.
I thought that would. I still remember Pandemic going in the first time. Legacy
Yeah.
is so cool, not knowing anything about it.
Right.
Now that sometimes can fall on its face because we did the same thing with Seafall. We knew nothing about it going in, and then.
What was the problem there? Okay.
All right. Once again, switching gears. I'm right, you're wrong.
Oh, there's a game for you, Tom. Look at that.
I really dislike the name of this game.
I dislike much of this project.
Yeah, I'm sorry. This was probably.
Worst game of the week.
second.
I think so.
Maybe.
I put it in because it is funding at 14,000, and
It
it's
is.
not quite. It says 14 plus, so it's not quite.
Well, but
not
you can,
safe for work.
I think they have some you can add
There's
to
a
make it even
not
more.
safe for work thing you can add on. Again, how many times can we rip off Exploding Kittens? I
Yeah.
know it made $14 million or whatever.
Right.
This is the same thing. Like, it's just so, like, how different enough do I have to be, right?
Sure.
To get away with it, where it's, don't draw the thing that will blow you up, or, like, I attack you, I defend. You know what I mean? It's, like,
Right.
just the same stuff. We had one last week.
We'll have one next
We
week.
have another one now. There will be another one next week, I'm sure, yeah. So I'm just not loving the look, or the game doesn't seem interesting. I'm sorry.
I don't love this idea of, hey, you're going to have a handful of cards that you hate all of them. Pick the least bad one.
Yeah, that's
I just
another
don't-
weird
I
thing.
don't
It's like,
love
all your
that.
cards suck.
Right.
Survive them.
Okay.
Really?
I mean, I guess you're trying to do something different, but I tend to like to have fun when I play games, you know? And I'm not saying it's not fun, but it doesn't sound fun to me.
Yeah, no. Again, maybe somebody who loves take that type games
Right.
will like this theme. But
Let's move on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now this one's doing really well. Rat Queens to the Slaughter. This is from the Deepwater Games. Who, oh man, I love Fantastic Factories.
Yeah.
I
like
I
that.
never
Cyber
heard
stuff.
of this comic. I went and looked up
Right.
on it. Apparently, it's a group of foul-mouthed, rollicking, rowdy women in a fantasy world who are like almost anti-trope to some
Okay.
degree. Like there's like
Sure.
there's like an atheist cleric.
Okay.
And you know,
Right.
stuff like that, and they go around and do stuff. I haven't read it. I'm gonna go see if it's on Hoopla. Maybe
Yeah.
it's there, and I'll read it and see. But woo, it's doing okay on Kickstarter here
I
for
know,
sure.
I know
Very
nothing
well.
about the IP, but I can tell you I love the graphic design and the art of this game. I think this looks gorgeous. I think it is very, I
Yeah.
always appreciate something that does not look like anything else I've ever seen.
Yes.
This does not look like anything else I've seen. It has little elements of things that are familiar, that the things that they remind me of are things I already like.
Sure,
you know what I
right.
mean? And you put it together in this package. This is something I absolutely would like to play, and I love the look of it.
Yeah, the minis seem to have their own style, seems to be its own world,
Right,
you know?
right.
This reminds me, actually, of when we looked at that one game that looked like it was old Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, that's
You
right.
know, there was like a miniatures game.
The Cuphead type game. I can't
Yeah.
remember.
Yeah, it looked like Cuphead, you
It's
know what I
different
mean?
than that.
This is different, but it had its own
I'm
world.
talking about that felt
Unique.
like it had minis, but they were unlike other things.
Yes.
Yes.
I feel that way about this. This is very much its own creation,
Yep.
its own world. I'm not looking at this going, oh, another one, you
Right.
know?
That just looks great to me. The character design.
All right, let's see. So Violet, my daughter's gonna play Violet. Nothing to do about that. Hannah, she looks a little evil there, but she doesn't. Is that a hat? No, it's a knife.
She has chaos
That's gonna
magic.
be me. I just changed that D to a Z.
There you go.
And Betty.
Betty's got twin knives, right? Yep.
Yeah. Oh, I want to
Braga.
be She-Hulk.
Braga's like the kind of the tank.
I love that. I love these villains.
Look at that weird bird
That's
thing. I
great.
mean, that's awesome.
Geese are evil, so I'm all down with making it a huge monster. Yeah, no, I think
When
this
is
looks
this being
fantastic.
Delivered May. That's not bad.
That's not too bad.
That's very cool.
And what is it? What is the base pledge?
49?
49. That's.
Yeah.
There's no There's no minis, I think, from it. But
I don't know. How much is the minis pledge? Because if I'm going to buy
This
this,
one,
I'm
the
going
79.
with the minis. Yeah, see, that
That's
seems
not
reasonable.
bad. That is not bad for a game
Seems
with
reasonable.
minis.
Yeah.
You want everything? 139.
All
That seems
in? That also
like
seems
150
reasonable.
now seems to be like almost the price, or 130 to 150 of a
Sure. If with
bigger game.
Yeah, with the amount of material that you get with these types of games now.
Right.
So, yeah,
Yeah, it's good.
I dig it.
1947, The Decline of an Empire, The Birth of a Nation. That's a.
That is a
Awkward title.
I don't
Yes.
think that is the law title either.
Then I love it's an 18XX game. 1947.
Yeah.
I get it. I know what they're saying. 18XX is a type of game.
It's a 19XX game.
You can't say
This is the most
XXXX game.
This
you
is
know?
the most XX looking game, most 18XX looking game I've ever seen too. Just that cover looks gorgeous.
That cover's
Look,
amazing.
no, it's
The
like
cover is
this is
great.
this is a page at odds with itself. That cover's beautiful. The above, if you keep going slightly up, the graphic design on most of this is nice.
Yeah.
And then you see that,
It's like, oh,
and that above, and then
Oh.
the train below that.
rusted.
No,
Busted. More like
that's
busted, am
a
I right?
16XX game. Okay.
Yeah, that is weird. It's like, who did this? That's
Yeah.
fantastic. Even that board.
The board's not
the
bad.
board has to be functional.
Yeah,
It's
compared
okay.
compared to most 18XX games, I think
Just
that's
saying
okay.
the cover is beautiful.
They are. They
Where is that designer and graphic designer? I mean,
Yeah, I don't like these bonds, these cards at all. They're like,
gosh.
But then again, it's an 18XX game, so we'll be playing this live. Can you imagine?
Are we flying Ambi
Can you
down?
ima-
Because otherwise,
Yeah,
I don't
Ambi
see
would-
that.
Ambi, tell
Andy
us
would
what to
kill
do.
Please, Ambi.
Can I buy this?
I'm just going to put like a cardboard standee of me sitting at the table.
I'm just glad they're changing it up so that it's not
Yeah.
always in the 1800s.
Yeah. I'm telling you, these components look better than a typical 18XX game, I
They
think.
do. They do. All
I
right.
guess they've had 18XX games in the future, actually.
Yeah, they have.
Last game today, Final Redemption TCG, which is currently making $164,000.
Why? This is the one I don't get.
Okay, someone in comments has
we
to
all
tell me
felt the same
why.
way.
I looked it up online. Is this based on a comic? Is the designer a artist or a book author?
Yeah,
Is it-
there must be something, 'cause this
first
is
of
doing
all,
so well.
I'm irritated at the name. It's called Final Redemption TCG. There already is a Redemption TCG that came out in the 90s, which,
Right.
you know, whether you like it or not, it's a very different theme, but it just seems weird.
How many projects have they done?
This is the only one, I
None.
think.
That's another. I just don't get it.
0 started, none back. This is a brand new person.
I just don't get it. There's something I think we're
I mean,
missing.
and also it's an average. I did the calculations. It's an average of $500 pledge per person.
Okay.
So, I mean, and I went down and looked why, because I was looking at these pledges. One person pledged for $5,000.
Wow.
But there's 50 people pledged 1,000,
Whoa.
and 100 people pledged 500.
Man.
So you might say,
don't-
well, maybe it looks amazing. Who picked the font for the cards?
Sorry, I think this looks. I'm not trying to be overly negative.
I
but
do
think
like.
this
Where
looks
is it? There was
bad.
one thing I did like. Where was it?
Keep going. Is it the end?
These. I like this art, the
That's okay.
stained glass art.
That's okay.
But I can't read that font. Can you guys read it?
No. No.
I don't understand. I hate to say that there's something fishy about this, but somebody gave up $5,000
Yeah,
Oh,
for this, and a bunch of people $1,000. I'm confused.
I am also really confused. There's only 21 comments. So again, that's another thing, right?
Yeah.
So a game that's making 165,000 has only 21 comments. Like,
Yeah, that
is
doesn't
anyone
seem-
excited about the game? Let's see how many of those comments are from the people making the game.
Creator.
Has the eagle landed yet? I will be dropping off the goods.
Yeah, it looks like 3 or 4 people here
This
making
doesn't
these
seem
comments.
right.
This
doesn't
This
seem
is
right.
fishy.
Yeah.
I really.
This is fishier than that schnapps we looked at a few weeks ago.
I got a bottle of that coming in.
Did you really?
No, it didn't fund.
Oh, okay.
Super failed.
Yeah, like if this had gorgeous artwork or something, I'd be
or
like,
was
well.
even an IP or something. I just don't get it. Do not get it.
Who's throwing $5,000 at a trading card game in this day and age?
Right.
Yeah, because I mean, the chance of a trading card game succeeding at this point was like what, 0.0001?
Oh,
right,
It's
right.
really small.
So I mean, some of that stuff is super derivative. I mean, is that
Someone said
a
maybe the
mimic,
designer
right?
got themselves in the newspaper.
Maybe.
Maybe. I
I
like
don't
the
know.
Gator Dave just put a little fish up. Fishy.
Maybe he has a
I'm
big
fishing.
family.
Could be.
He's got a huge, rich family also. Both. Anyway. All right.
That's weird. I don't know
I don't
what it
understand
is.
this one at all. Don't understand.
All right, folks. In the comments, I'm going to put a link to a poll where you can vote on which gaming project is your favorite
Yep.
of these, and while you're doing that, let's take a listen to Mark.
Hey folks, welcome back to the Dice Tower Preview Recap. I'm Mark, and today we only have one game to look at. It is a digital game. It is The Republic of Jungle. So this is a social deduction game, and you can really see the influences here. The Resistance Avalon and so many others. Also, Jackbox, since it is an online digital game, and you can literally play this game with friends and family in a room across the country, across the world. They've really streamlined the process of how you use your individual device to play this game and keep certain things secret. So, as you'd expect, there are two sides here. You have the loyalists who are loyal to President Puma, where you're going on task force, trying to get them approved and move on and get work done. Or you're a leaker, where you're trying to infiltrate these task force and leak the information and get them voted down. So, lots of interesting twists and turns here as you try to discover who is who. And of course, you have your personal device to keep track of all these things. Also, all the rules are there so you can discreetly look at things if you've never played this type of game before and not give away who you might be. So lots of interesting things about how they've pulled this together in a digital world, and the fact that you can do all this on your device and keep things secret. Now, there's also all kinds of special roles that can go on, and there's powers that can be secretly distributed among the players. So having those devices in hand and keeping all that secret really does add a lot to the game. All right, folks, so that's just a quick look at the Republic of Jungle. Now, if you want more information, please go check out our full preview. And if you want your game featured as a Dice Tower preview, please shoot me an email. All right, folks, until next time, we'll see you at the table.
It's like.
Legally distinct from a beholder.
Yes, well, you had to add the dragon tail, right?
Yeah.
All right, folks, if you find weird or unusual projects, please send them to me. I got like one this week. I had to go hunt a few down. There's only 3. 2 interesting and yes. So here we go.
Okay, what do we got, Tom? What did you
do we
find?
have?
First, we have Fjorden, faster camera controls now on your iPhone. I am very much intrigued by this.
I think this is a great looking project. Now I know Z, you've mentioned many times, avoid technology on Kickstarter with a 10-foot pole, but
Yeah.
and this is a first created, right? But a very nice looking page, right? Obviously,
Yes.
a lot of time and effort was put into this. It's making a lot of money. This is one, and the price is not outrageous.
Right.
This is one that, I would consider backing. I'm not going to, but I would consider
I
it
would not. And I
Okay.
agree with everything else you said, and I
Yeah.
still would not consider backing.
because of the tech.
Because it's tech.
Yeah.
I think it looks
high tech.
great.
I think you can back a low tech Kickstarter.
Yeah.
Like
Syrup does not count as low tech.
no, I backed that.
Dice
Remember
soap.
last week that umbrella you can stick in your pocket? I backed.
You backed
that.
it, huh?
I did.
That's not tech. That's design.
That's
It's
different.
technology.
No, it's not. It's not. It doesn't have
That's
an
not-
app
it's
it
not
connects to.
electronic. It's
It
no
doesn't
elec-
open itself.
Technology doesn't mean an app.
It doesn't. A stick can be technology. I get that.
I know.
But no, I think in the terms of what Z
That's
and I
why
are
I said
talking
the
about.
word low tech.
You know what? I'm gonna low tech.
I got a word for you, Todd. I'll wait till we're off air.
I'm saying
You
this.
see how these guys treat me?
I agree that this looks great.
Yeah.
It looks neat. It seems to fit on an iPhone well. They have lenses
I
and
would
you can
buy-
also add on.
I would buy this for my daughter if I could buy it.
The thing,
Yes.
and maybe you will, but the thing is that I think these have become more, and by these I mean add-ons to iPhone cameras, have become more viable because right now the camera in your iPhone is a top quality camera, right? I
Right.
mean the quality of video and
The
photos
one
you
thing
can
we
take
need
is
is-
amazing on these.
Yeah, yeah.
You say don't back tech, but if I saw a good way to put microphones on your iPhone,
Well, yes.
I would be like, ah.
I mean, you can get wireless labs.
No, yeah,
right?
there's all
But-
sorts of things you can buy. We have one ourselves that conked out on us.
It didn't do
That
well.
used to work well, but now it doesn't work very well. But that's the thing that tempts me more than this.
Yeah.
I'm scared of all these electronic things. Maybe you'll get it and then the next iPhone you get isn't compatible with it, or the app doesn't keep up with the piece of actual physical tech that they send you. All of that,
Z is a simple caveman lawyer. He's frightened and confused by all of these technologies.
100% true, okay? I cannot emphasize how true that is. I give me club and I can figure out the rest. This stuff, I'm gonna break it just to see
All
what's
right,
in
well,
there.
speaking of that, let's go to non-tech.
Okay, what's non-tech? This is technology.
It is, yeah.
Okay,
Kidding, come on.
the travel pillow that's not just a pillow.
Right.
Okay, travel pillows be like, yo,
Toilet
seat?
I love that, actually.
Not no to be like classy. Also,
It's classy until
useless.
It's
Yeah.
classy until you look at it from the side.
Correct.
Then
yeah.
you look like a moron.
You know what though? I would try
This
this.
is stupid, Tom. There's no sides.
Can you put on...
I don't need a side.
The thing is...
I need it on the back.
Can you put your own bandana? Because if you could put a Hulkamania thing on there, now I'm
You're sleeping
in.
and somebody was
I have
like,
to say,
brother.
if I saw this guy to play it, I would sit there the whole time next to him like, why do you have a bandana on?
Is this some sort of ninja master?
He just had scalp surgery of some kind. I don't know.
Look at the smile on his face.
No,
I'm like,
this guy's
he's
happy
watching me.
because he's classier than everybody else in that plane with all walking around their toilet seats around their
Okay,
neck.
I know you guys are mocking this.
Sorry, no.
I think this might work.
You're giving this a thumbs up, aren't you?
You've already backed it, haven't you, Tom?
Look, it's made $130,000. I'm not the only one. It's not like this is a silly
You
project.
have backed this.
No, I did back it because I've been burned too many times on.
They also make luggage, though, so there you go.
I've been burned too many times on travel pillows. I've yet to find a travel pillow that's good.
I'll tell you, they're also outrageously overpriced travel pillows.
Well, that's because you usually buy them at the airport where they are outrageously
Let's not
priced.
get caught up on the details. But yeah, the last time I bought a travel pillow was $40.
That's insane.
The best purchase I ever made was I bought a butt pillow and that is worth it.
What was it for? It's made from butts. So was it like a neck pillow?
No, it was definitely worth. That was better than having a neck pillow. My problem with those neck pillows is I'm always like,
They feel constrictive to me, the neck pillows.
I thought that
Also,
was
there's
the
this-
point. I'm so confused.
Maybe it is the point, but I just
This
didn't-
is like, this fills the gap between like your neck and your back and your head, right?
Right,
It's just
right.
sort of like a triangular thing that fills this space. There's a neck rest. I mean, like, there's a back of the head support.
Right.
I need the sides so that, like, when I fall asleep, I don't go, right? I mean, like, I need this, and this does away with the one part I want from a neck travel pillow.
Really? Yeah.
I really don't like this. It seems really dumb.
I don't
What
think it
about the
seems dumb.
What is that?
Safe silicone reusable earplugs.
That's correct.
That you-
Oh, I thought it was weird, like nails.
all right.
All right.
Our last project.
No.
Your favorite project.
Buckle up, folks.
Snack Butler, the clever reusable system for takeaway.
How is this
funny.
making $60?
Here's what's really funny. When I first saw this, my eyes went directly to the popcorn one, and I thought it said snack butter. And I thought, is this a squirt, like a thing, a bottle that squirts butter?
Oh, it'd be like a butter fountain.
That's what I thought.
That's what we need.
That's what I thought this was. I was like, snack butter.
You could use this for that, though, Z. That actually
By the
might
way,
be a project
that is a
I would
bad
get
font
behind.
there for that.
You use a squeeze bottle
With butter.
with butter in it.
So I get
Butter fountain, man.
It's like, everybody hold up your popcorn.
Clear!
Yeah, you're gonna
Stand
say,
back.
You're gonna say clear after eating that.
Put a sprinkler head on that.
Why do I want? Why do I want this? Is my question.
The answer is you don't, Tom. This is.
If you only want to hold everything with the one hand or something like that.
Like that.
Come on.
It's got to be enormous.
First of all,
There's a burger
that
in
can't
that.
be the scale, right? It's got a full burger, fries.
That's a serving tray.
That's a double
This,
gulp
this really
right there.
feels like if you're watching one of those parody movies.
I love
Right.
it. Yeah.
A guy would have this.
Right.
You know, they always come in a parody movie with a
that's-
big giant bucket of popcorn.
This is cup of pizza from the jerk all over again. Look, I mean,
Love it.
if that's a full-size burger and not a slider or something, that cup, you're not holding that with one hand.
Well, this one has a whole bucket of chicken in it. Would you worry,
it.
though, like some of the grease would fall down in a drink?
Tom, that's one of about 100 things I'd be worried about
Yeah.
with that. No.
Yeah, I get that. Okay, so you want to eat and drink at the same time while you're walking.
I'm trying
That's the
to-
only benefit of this.
I'm
It's
also-
kind of
you
a
can
neat
walk.
idea, but it's
Right.
just not that practical.
I'm trying to figure out what the look on her face is too. It's a very.
Also, I'm a little surprised
Can
that
they get
they're
away with
allowed to do this.
I
They
doubt
must
they're
have
allowed. I doubt
gotten
they're
the
allowed.
rights to do it. This is kind of amazing.
You think
No
he got
way.
the rights
They
to
didn't
do
get the
that?
rights to do that.
You don't think they did?
No, I don't think
he
he
meant
did.
They're making a
$60.
lot. Oh, never mind. He's got $60.
$60.
I want a
Alright.
Burger King one.
Oh wait, wow. All right, hang on. For stadiums, arenas, cinemas, and amusement parks, patrol stations, in case you're at a gas station and you don't have time to eat, but you have time to walk.
It says added value as a souvenir. Sure.
Let's make dice towers for our next Kickstarter.
Ooh.
Okay, as a side note, I do want to mention at least 2 people now have emailed me about the burger
Yeah, the Burger Buddy.
and how useful it is, and we were wrong, we were told.
Maybe. I just think it's.
I think we need to have a fight between the Burger Buddy and the Snack Butler.
I would
make
get
it
the
happen.
Burger Buddy first.
Over the Snack Butler?
Yes.
I think
Can
I'll
you-
get the Snack Butler
Can
first.
you create a butter fountain out of a Burger Buddy? Because if the answer is no, then I think you need to reevaluate your decision.
This one's more versatile.
All
You
right,
can't
Mike.
put like the Burger Buddy was only for burgers. In this, you can have a bucket of fried chicken on top of your drink.
You could have ramen in there.
Oh
Think about
Can
that.
you imagine that?
Come on.
You got ramen in there.
All right, Mike, what's
and then
your
you
pick
got
of the
more-
week?
I'm going with the Rat Queens. I love the look of that project. I think it's a really unique looking project, and I know nothing about the IP, but I want to know more about it because I think this looks really, really cool. So. I didn't know anything about it before, too. I'd seen a couple of things here and there, but this is the first time I looked at it in any depth, and I'm considering backing this. I like the look of it a lot.
This is a good pick.
I thought this would be your pick.
No, I'm gonna go with the second one we looked at.
Soul Raider.
Soul
Raider.
Raiders. I like the look of this one. It looks very baroque and attractive. I love that deep, rich red they're using with the gold. And it sounds like an interesting game. It just sounds like an interesting exploratory sort of fantasy game.
Yeah.
So I'm into this one. This is my pick of the week.
Nice.
Yeah, it does look good. There
It
were some
does.
good projects this week.
There
Yeah.
were.
Mine is going to be Divinus here.
I figured as much, sure.
You know, I got to be honest. I'm getting a little sick of legacy games.
Yeah.
You know, if you tell me it's a legacy game or a
Me too.
campaign game, I'm like,
Me
man.
too.
But Lucky Duck reputation with me is so high at this
Yeah.
point,
They've been on fire.
and their
man.
use of apps. Not every time an app and a board game mix together, it's good.
Yeah.
Watch all my reviews that I post this week.
Sure.
But in this
That's called
case,
foreshadowing.
but in this case, I think it really works well, and I'm excited. Look,
Yeah.
look at that slate behind him.
Yeah, those
That's-
are all solid.
that's a
games.
pretty
Not all
solid-
of those are. I guess some of those are the ones they brought over because I think I saw Noosefjord there. But
Yeah.
yeah. But they've done some really, really, really good games.
And the art is really cool on this one. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, they're on fire.
all right,
I'm
let's see
gonna,
what
I'm gonna guess the people pick Divinus too.
I don't know. They
I'm
might pick
gonna-
Rat Queens.
They might.
I'm gonna say Divinus.
I'm gonna guess
is what
Divinus
got
just because
picked.
Lucky Duck is really coming pretty heavy right now.
All right, let's see what
Let's
happens.
find out.
Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo.
Yeah.
Mike, you called it.
Yep.
Actually, Rat Queens
Our
was
three
third.
picks, one, 2, and 3 there. So that's great.
Look at that.
Well, wait, where's the final redemption? 7 people picked that.
Really? Well, hey, that means that there's some people out there. Maybe we're outliers.
No, I looked at the comments. No one gave me a good reason why that was doing well.
Okay, yeah, I can't imagine why, but Well, 7 people here might be backing it. So
Plus, Gator Dave says, I swear that snack butler already exists.
really,
Somebody's got a snack butler
says,
and doesn't want to admit
snack butler. Someone
like a
comes,
literal snack butler.
sir. No,
Jeeves.
I just have to walk down the street like, hold that plate higher, please. Thank you.
Right.
Alrighty. Well, there you go, folks.
Very cool.
That's all the different things here. We'll be back in another week. Join us tomorrow morning for Board Game Breakfast at 10 a.m.
10.
Yes.
As we, Mr. Monaco's back, he promises. And then tomorrow at 2 o'clock, our top 10 advanced 2-player games, where you will see.
That's going to go very
Be a
well.
lot of discussing what is an
What is
advanced
advanced
two-player
game,
game,
right?
Come for
and why was
uplifting,
Tom so wrong on the last top 10?
backing conversation.
Mm-hmm.
I plan, for me, that's my affirmation hour.
Oh, is that right?
Oh, you think you're going to bring?
Better be.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going to go change my list.
That's right.
Alrighty. Until next time, I'm Tom Bassel.
I'm Z Garcia.
I'm Mike Delisio.
Have fun with your butter.